With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. You know, Facebook is a company that is going through a lot of, well, issues right now. Having basically come to the realization that they might not have paid that close attention to where the money was coming from during the 2016 presidential election, therefore leading to a lot of propaganda-esque campaigns by the Ruskies and possibly other governments as well. Because, you know, hey, let's face it, every government has a tendency of getting in on digital warfare and cyber warfare. So, you know, let's not blame it all on the Russians all the time. But right now, they're experimenting with this downvote. And it's probably the closest thing that we'll ever get to a dislike button. And there needs to be a dislike button on YouTube or on Facebook. On YouTube, it has a dislike button. Never really clearly defined as to why the button exists, right? There's never really a reason as to why. Because I'll be honest with you guys, if you dislike a video of mine, it doesn't actually ever do anything to my video. It doesn't impact it or negatively hurt my video at all. It's just a way for you to express discontent, like the 2,000 dislikes I got on the video where I said Ray wasn't a Mary Sue. I still stand by that, by the way. Or the video where I said I like Adam Sandler films and it cost me like 300 subscribers. That was a weird day. But the point is that it ultimately doesn't do anything negative. In fact, it does the opposite. On YouTube, the dislike button adds to the interaction on the video. And because of that, it only helps it get further out into the algorithm on YouTube. Facebook, on the other hand, will be a little bit different. Now it says here, Facebook is testing a downvote feature that will be the closest users will ever get to a dislike button. The social network acknowledged last week it is testing a downvote button that appears on a small number of public pages that will be viewed by roughly 5% of English language users with Android smartphones. The new experimental button shows up as a third choice on comments alongside like and reply buttons. Once a Facebook user taps the downvote button, they can choose 3 options: offensive, misleading, or off-topic. The downvoted comment is then hidden from view, and the user's Facebook feed or feedback is provided to Facebook. So essentially, what that's doing is, if you dislike a comment, it's not that you disagree with it. It's not that at all, because that's, I mean, you know, there could be, I think that should be an option. It's literally just trying to say that it's offensive, misleading, or off-topic. So it's not going to do anything, you know. I'm just saying it's not going to do anything. To be clear, downvote button is not a dislike button. A Facebook spokesperson explained to Yahoo Finance. We're exploring a feature for people to give us feedback about comments on public page posts. This is running for a small set of people in the US only, and I'm pretty sure it will expand out further. But when it comes to political debate, which seems to be a thing, clearly, you know, it's going to be misused, I think, especially in English speaking worlds, especially America. Facebook executives have in the past expressed a reluctance with rolling out anything resembling a dislike button. During a public Q&A session back in 2014, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg said he didn't think there needs to be such a thing as a voting mechanism. So I think in that point he would be like Reddit's karma, up down, is what I'm thinking. Some people have asked for a dislike button because they want to be able to say that thing isn't good. That's not something we think is good. We're not going to build that. And I don't think there needs to be a voting mechanism on Facebook about whether posts are good or bad. I don't think that's socially very viable or good for the community to help people share the important moments in their lives. Because let's be fair here. Let's be realistic here. A lot of people probably mentally, emotionally could not handle a dislike button. And I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say. I think that there are people out there that like, and there are people I know on YouTube that will see that that downvote button, you know, dislike button on videos get clicked, and they get freaked out at that. They think that it has a negative impact on their channel, but it just has a negative impact on their psyche is all it does, you know. And that's because there's never any follow up with that. There's never any Q&A as to why are you disliking this comment. For what purposes? Can you provide some creative, constructive feedback? I think if YouTube were to engage in that, if they really cared about it, which they clearly don't, then you would actually be able to see some creative stuff come back in. And ultimately, if Facebook did the same thing, we would be able to then get creative criticism, which would then have a lessened impact on someone mentally and emotionally. But that's kind of what he wants to do. He doesn't want you to feel that you're having a bad time on Facebook. because Facebook likes to show you things in your feed that it thinks through their algorithm that will make you feel good, that will make you happy, make you continuously keep looking around, clicking like, sharing, talking, posting. They want to play into your endorphins by showing you what they think will make you happy. I'm sorry, Facebook, you never show me Indiana Jones memes and boobs. So we're clearly not operating on the same page here. So it says, so the downvote button goes from a limited experiment to universal Facebook feature. What would be the difference between a downvote button and a hypothetical dislike button? Well, when someone downvotes a comment, the comments aren't shown as downranked or lowered in the comment ranking, just as comments are on Reddit. But in fact, the comment is hidden from view, raises concerns that the downvote feature somehow encourages censorship. It's a tricky situation. Given Facebook has distanced itself in recent months from the idea that it's a media platform and should wield additional editorial content and ads. Again, that's where Facebook currently at is right now with growing pains and how they take money for political ads and whatnot. But ultimately, if the dislike button is just going to allow you to essentially hide that post, then it's already there. It's just not something you see on the post. It's like that little arrow in the top right corner of the comment. Hit that, hide post. Why? I don't like it. I'm done. That's essentially it. When you hide a post, that's effectively you just disliking it. And I think that's fine. Add that feature in there in order to get people to move away from some of the conversations that are bad. What you do is you create the dislike button or whatever button it is. And what it does is it hides the comment and then removes notifications from that comment. It's a one button press to walk away from that. That would, I think, do better overall. So it says, indeed, part of the strategy seems to include Facebook encouraging more meaningful interactions, a phrase Zuckerberg mentioned several times during the social network's fourth quarter 2017 earnings that also raised eyebrows. Those efforts include fine-tuning the news feed to show less national news, videos, and business posts, and displaying more local news from a user's town or city, as well as banning all ads promoting cryptocurrencies or ICOs, which would be initial coin offerings for cryptos, in an effort to prevent people from advertising what Facebook calls financial products and services frequently associated with misleading or deceptive promotional practices. That has a lot to do with the fact that they found some ads on Facebook were I think mining coin, as well as YouTube having some JavaScript ads that were in fact also mining coin. So there's a problem there that they're trying to currently handle right now. Given Facebook's position now around protecting users and encouraging positive interactions, it's highly unlikely we'll ever see a dislike button, which in and of itself is perhaps a reality some users wish they could dislike if only they could. And again, like I said, this boils down to an emotional thing. This boils down to a person's mentality in terms of being able to emotionally handle that. And I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, and this Yahoo Finance article won't touch upon that. But look at what Mark himself said. He wants more positive interactions. He doesn't want you having a negative reaction when you come to Facebook. What he doesn't realize, though, is that negative reaction to an extent is already there. If the addiction of going to Facebook and constantly checking your feed is there with certain people, it doesn't matter. They could have everything in the world thrown at them, and they're just going to be like, all right, whatever, and keep coming back for more. Giving someone the option to have a dislike button or a dislike bar or a downvote button, I should say, would give them more control over what they see. Now they can already basically do what I'm talking about, which is just, hide the post, turn off notifications for this post, giving them options through a little drop-down menu. But if they took that and they put that into a button that was just right there, then it would be a little easier for them. They'd be able to then hide the comment, not see it, move on with their day. And I think ultimately we would get a lot more of that being used than anything else. And because people, they do tend to invite drama in certain situations. Like my dad, for example, goes on to a Facebook group or a Facebook fan page or whatever that's for the county that he lives in. And it's full of a lot of Trump supporters, and he is not a Trump supporter. And he goes on there and he gets into a lot of meme warfare with people because my dad likes Photoshop and likes pissing off the locals, and as a result of that, like he just recently quit the group, but he was like in there every night picking fights with people, with his name and face out there and everything. And that was one of those situations where it's like, that's where a dislike button could ultimately come in handy. If the conversation gets to be too heated, you can then eject without it having you know, and still feel like you're not part of, it's not directly negatively impacting you, is what I'm trying to say. So I do feel that's a situation that could easily be played out for the better if they would implement it. But they don't want to, because they don't want you to think anything negative. It's why they give you the like, gives you now the options for the different little emojis, you know, happy, sad, wow, funny, haha, whatever. But they don't want to do anything for negative, because then that would help destroy, in their mind, their brand. But I'm telling you, it would be actually the opposite, I think. I think it would actually help people come to terms in some elements of disagreement on Facebook. But then again, they're selling you an experience, not real life.